So it all started in 1891 when Abdul Rahman Khan started a campaign against Hazaras.
When we speak of the Hazara genocide, we are speaking about one of the darkest chapters in Afghan history.
So to every young Hazara here today, you are the future our ancestors dreamed of,
which in my opinion contributed to the horrendous decisions made by the king against Hazaras because he essentially felt invincible. He knew his actions would not be questioned. So prior to Abdul Rahman becoming the king, Afghanistan consisted of single nations with their own leaders, with their own defense system, with their own little economic self-sufficiency. So, for example, any settlements would get resolved internally and would never reach the high courts in Kabul. However, as I started, I realized there's been too many tragic incidents, and finishing this timeline would take ages. So instead, I decided to focus on the beginning of the genocide, where it all began, and try to understand how the story of injustice began. So it all started in 1891 when Abdul Rahman Khan started a campaign against Hazaras, which led to mass killings, displacements, and enslavement of a lot of the Hazara population.
When we speak of the Hazara genocide, we are speaking about one of the darkest chapters in Afghan history. In the late 1800s, the Hazara people were targeted with unimaginable violence. Villages were destroyed, men executed, women and children enslaved, and families forced from their homes. By then, more than half of the Hazara population were either killed or driven into exile. This was not only an attack on lives, but also an attempt to erase their culture, their identity and their future. And yet, despite this, the Hazaras survived. They rebuilt their lives in Afghanistan and in other parts of the world. They carried their traditions, their language, their stories, and their strength. That survival is why we stand here today, 133 years later, still remembering and still resisting. I believe the diaspora has at least three powerful opportunities. The first is the opportunity to speak up. In Afghanistan, to speak openly about injustice is dangerous. Hazara voices have often been silenced through fear and violence. But here in the UK and other parts of the world, we have the freedom to speak without fear. This freedom is a responsibility.